Welcome. In the last video, we had started the demodulation process of AM signals and we discussed about square law demodulator and synchronous detector or demodulator. Today, we will discuss about envelope detector, that is diode detector. The demodulator circuit consists of a diode and a low-pass filter, and the equivalent circuit looks like this. Here this combined circuit of capacitor and resistor is the low-pass filter and a diode is connected here. As we know, any diode circuit acts as a rectifier, that is, it passes the input in only one direction, so the diode is actually used to clip the positive or the negative side. If you remember, in a previous video where we discussed about the basics of amplitude modulation, this was the equivalent graph for the modulated signal, where this is the frequency of the message signal and this in black is the frequency of the carrier signal. Now here, since we use this diode in this polarity, the positive part of this applied signal EAM will be passed through the diode and the negative portion will be suppressed. So at this point VIT will be like this, and passing this signal through the low pass filter we will get the message signal, which is this, and it is given by MT. Initially the voltage across the capacitor is 0, and when this signal is passed the diode is replaced by a short circuit, so the equivalent circuit looks like this, and the voltage that we are applying here will go in this way and charge the capacitor. The capacitor will be charged to the maximum value of EAM. EAM was EC plus EM cos omega MT into cos omega CT, and the maximum value of EAM is EC plus EM cos omega MT, or EC into 1 plus KMT, that is the EAM max, or you can also write EC equals to 1 plus M cos omega MT. So at different instances the capacitor will be charged to this voltage. Suppose the voltage across the capacitor is VCT. At some point the VCT will be greater than this applied signal EAM, and for that case the diode will be in reverse bias, so it will be replaced by an open circuit, and then the equivalent circuit will look like this. The VCT here will go in this way and will be discharged through the resistance RL. It will be discharged until its value is less than EAM, the applied signal, and when its value is less than EAM, the diode will again be replaced by a short circuit since it comes in forward bias, and the process will continue like this. Time taken for charging, tau is Rs into C, and time taken for discharging is RLC. To understand the working of the low pass filter here, let us take a simple signal. Suppose this is EAM. Initially the voltage across capacitor is 0, so the capacitor will get charged with this signal. Then at this point it reaches the maximum value at this point of time t. After that EAM value will decrease, but VCT is this, so EAM is less than VCT, so the diode will be in reverse bias and discharging will occur. So from here discharging occurs. Again at this point EAM value becomes higher than VCT, So charging will occur again. Again at this point discharging occurs, again charging, and the process will go like this. So we are getting the signal as this, and if we use a smoothing filter, the output graph will look like this. This in blue color is the envelope of the graph. As we know that envelope of a signal is the outer lining of that signal, and this in black is the capacitor voltage graph, that is the graph for VCT. So if our input is like this, the output VOT will be like this. If the signal here is EC cos omega CT, suppose, then if we pass this to the low pass filter, the output will have value of EC. This is not in this case. We are considering this as an example, that is the low pass filter will suppress the higher frequencies of omega CT, so this cosine term will be suppressed and we'll get this as the output. So similarly, if our input is EAM equals to, so similarly if our input is EC plus EM cos omega MT into cos omega CT, the output VOT will be EC plus EM cos omega MT. Now one important point to note is RS should be very small for fast charging, and RL should be of very large value so that discharging is very slow, and this in combined will cause a proper envelope formation. Now let us justify this point. Suppose slow charging is occurring. This is the input. If slow charging occurs, then the charging graph, that is the VCT graph, will not follow the message signal or the carrier signal. It will be something like this, and the envelope that we will obtain will be like this, whereas the actual envelope should have been like this. So this signal that you are obtaining is not the message signal, so distortion occurs, and this is for slow charging. Now if discharging is very fast, this is our applied signal. If discharging occurs very fast, then after reaching this point, it will discharge drastically. So here you can see that the VCT graph is not following the message signal, it is actually following the carrier signal, which is not desired. We want the output to be a message signal, but since it follows maximum time the carrier signal, it will be distorted. So this is also not desired. Now again, if discharging is very slow, suppose this is the applied signal, if discharging is very slow, then the discharging will occur like this, and at this point it might go like this, and at this point it will be lesser than the applied signal. So from here charging will occur again, and again this process will go on like this. So from here till here we are missing these signals, so this will not be the actual waveform, and the envelope that we are obtaining is something like this. And if we use the smoothing filter, the output graph will be like this, but we desire it to be like this. So this is also distorted. For proper envelope detection, the RC, that is the time period for charging or discharging, should be very less than the time period of the message signal and very large in comparison to the time period of carrier signal. And in that case, charging or discharging will be at an optimal rate, which will result in a proper envelope formation. So since the low pass filter suppresses all signals accept the message signal, the output VOT will be EC into 1 plus KAMT. So VOT is EC 1 plus K into MT, and the equation for charging and discharging are these. From this graph, if we want to detect the message signal completely from this VC, that is, if we want to develop this envelope completely, then we need the slope of the envelope at each point to be equals to or greater than the slope of the VCT. So modulus of dVCT upon dt, here the differentiation of VCT will be d dt of E into 1 minus T upon RLC, or d dt of E into 1 minus 1 plus T upon RC, because we know that E upon minus x is given by 1 minus x plus x square upon 2 factorial till nth term. So after calculating, the modulus of dVCT upon dt will be E upon RLC or E upon RSC, that is E upon RC. Now the slope of the envelope, that is dE of dt, is the differentiation of EC into 1 plus m cos omega mt, that is EC into m omega m sin omega mt with a minus sign. And since we are taking the mod value, the result will be EC m omega m sin omega mt. Now according to this condition, dVCT of dt should be greater than dVOT of dt, that is dE of dt. So E upon RC should be greater than or equals to m omega m EC sin omega mt, and we will get 1 upon RC to be greater than or equals to m omega m sin omega mt upon 1 plus m cos omega mt. Let us differentiate it. So d dt of 1 upon RC will be 1 plus m cos omega mt into differentiation of the numerator, that is m omega m square cos omega mt minus m omega m sin omega mt into differentiation of the denominator, that is minus m omega m into sin omega mt, and in the denominator we will have 1 plus m cos omega mt whole square. Solving this mathematically, we will get and this is equals to 0. So m plus cos omega mt is 0, that is cos omega mt is minus m, so sin omega mt will be root over 1 minus m square. Putting these two values in this equation, so we will get 1 upon RC to be greater than or equals to m omega m into root over of 1 minus m square divided by 1 minus m square. So the maximum value of RC is root over of 1 minus m square divided by m omega m, and this is the maximum value for which we will detect the message signal properly. So that is how we demodulate the AM signals using the envelope detector. This envelope detector has several advantages, that is, it is of low cost and it's very simple, and it is widely used in AM broadcasting, but it has several disadvantages as well. As it is non-linear, distortion may happen. This modulation process is not as sensitive as other processes, and this detection cannot be used for M value greater than or equals to 1, because suppose when M is greater than 1, then the M signal looks like this, and when the diode is used, negative or the positive portion gets cancelled. Suppose negative portion gets cancelled, so we won't find these spots, so the equivalent graph that is found at these 2 points VIT will be something like this. From here we cannot detect the message signal. So if m value is greater than 1, this process cannot be used. Thus we have completed the demodulation processes of AM signals. In the next video, we will discuss about different types of amplitude modulation and how they are modulated or demodulated.